Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is. You show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox postgame podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Hey, wait until I get into the postgame show tonight. I'm fucking drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm freaking tipsy. I drank quite a few beers tonight. It was one of those things where you go to the family's house and it's like a come hang out and watch the game and talk some crap with the friends and family and have a good time. And dude, I'm buzzed, and not in a good way. I would like to be happy, but this is some bullshit. Losing to a team that's a rival, supposedly, outside of like 95 season, long-term Angel fans. Mariners are just always there, but they're not like hated. We've had our fights with them and stuff like that. And when you watch freaking The Naked Gun, they have fights in that movie about the Mariners and Angels way back. And fuck, dude, like this game made me want to drink. You know what I mean? Like I didn't say no. And I just kept pumping them down. And it's a microcosm of the entire season. Now, first off, 714 tickets, 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Put an HITI in the promo code. It doesn't matter if you like baseball, concerts, Taylor Swift. It doesn't matter. You get 10% off no matter what just by using our baseball code. Thanks to 714 tickets. It helps us out, so please do that. And you can get 10% off of any ticket purchase. The price you see is the price you get after the purchase of a 10% discount. No hidden fees, no nothing. Nobel L Works. Go right by the stadium, and if you want to drink like me, fucking go over there and just say, hey, you know what? Halo's in the infield, and freaking get $1 off of pints. And that's, sometimes their pints are $5, so it's like $4 for a pint, or there's $7, $6 for a pint. You can't beat that. That's some really, really good beers and IPAs over there. If you have not tried it yet, I suggest you do it. So with that being said, on a night where I'm fucked up a bit, this team sucks! They fucking suck! You were 56-51, 5 games over. You were looking 4.5 games out of the division. You were looking 3 back of the wild card. And you just polish up a turd and just continue to circle the wagon, circle the freaking toilet. This season's over. Dude, you can't convince me any otherwise. There's no miracle Mets, no miracle Angels, no nothing. If you've ever known Angels history, go all the way back to the beginning. Name me one season where the Angels rallied from a deficit to make a playoff position. You can't find one because there is none. You can find plenty of seasons where the Angels have had big leads, including a 12.5 game lead mid-August, almost September, and lost it to set Mariners. You can't find a season where these dumbass pieces of shit on Bally's, AM 830, are going to blow smoke up your ass individually with those little straws that we use to blow up the thunder sticks that we give you. They're going to put that thing in your anus, and they're going to tell you as they blow, Guess what, people? There's still plenty of season to go, and they can rally based on fucking what history? There's no history in this franchise that tells you that this team's going to turn it around. And can you just ignore that history for a second? Ignore the futility just for 1 second. And think to yourself, what is this team giving me so that I could have faith in them putting together a streak of wins? Because now you have to be at about a 70% clip in the final games to even realize or come close to maybe a playoff spot. You would need Toronto to choke or another team to choke. That's asking for way too much. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much this guy tells you this.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let me tell you something real quick. So I was on YouTube today at work. And while I was working, I was like, sometimes I'll listen to baseball chat and maybe podcasts and stuff like that and be like, okay, let me figure out or let me hear these different stories. And there was an interesting story about the rebuild of the Baltimore Orioles. And I sat back there and I listened to it. It was about a 20-minute video because I can't watch it because I'm working. But I'm listening to it, and the guy's saying the story about 3 seasons in a row, including the pandemic season, so it was really 4, to where the team lost over 100 games. And they were the worst team in the pandemic as well. And they used all that collateral to build up their franchise as far as where it's at today. All young kids under their 6-year rookie contracts. They have one of the lowest payrolls in the league, but are one of the best teams in the league because they drafted talent, scouted, and really developed these players well. When they were talking about those teams, in the team that they were talking about in 2019, they went down the list, and what caught my ear was they were talking about Adam Jones and several other players that were on that team that were still almost in their prime or just over their prime, but they had a lot of talent. And one thing that stuck out in my mind when he was talking about the Orioles in that season was they tended on nights when they couldn't score, the pitching was great. When they would score, the pitching was terrible. And I'm like, man, who does that remind me of? Well, your Angels. Some people in the chat last night were like, you know what, dude, this pitching sucks. Whoa, back up a second. Reed Detmers sucked. He gave up 7 runs. If you want to blame that on Nevin for letting him out there too long or whatever, Detmers gave up 7. The bullpen in the final 5 innings gave up 2. You gave up 9 as a whole, but the bullpen gave up 2. That's not their fault. Your dumbass team, you had to score 7 for Detmers. You matched that. The bullpen gave away 2. You still had opportunities to score and you didn't do it. Whether it was tied or they took the lead. Tonight, you basically have, outside of the Grichuk home run, 1 guy at second base, which was Moniak. After that, there was nothing to the 9th inning. And then what happens? The most Angel thing to happen. 2 men on, 2 outs, 9th inning rally. If that ball bounces off the fence, we're still playing baseball. No, of course it doesn't bounce off the wall. Why would the baseball gods allow that to happen? Of course it goes over the fence. And dumbass Squid has to stay at third base. And the Angels lose by 1 because Renfroe forgot to hit a fastball. He's looking for a slider in the dirt because of his coaching staff. Another thing that was mentioned in that Baltimore Orioles video, the inconsistency by the coaching. The coaching at the time for the Orioles was under Buck Showalter and a rookie manager after he got fired. And the complaints on that team was they had the wrong type of coaches in place. inconsistency, not the players not respecting the coaches or the coaches not respecting the players, and there wasn't that give and take and there wasn't that camaraderie, there was no chemistry. Again, who does that remind you of? And today, Sam Blum, who is the only honest Angels reporter, beat reporter on a permanent basis, who was kicked off of the Angels roundtable crew because he was too negative, merely asked for a conference with Angels pitcher Matt Wise, and the Angels dubbed it as him being too negative, meaning Sam Blum. So they declined his request. So whenever there's a story to be made, whenever there's players to be called out, the Angels say no. And like a turtle does when they're threatened, stick their head inside their shell. Artie does the same thing. This organization does the same thing. This is why we did not want Artie to keep the team. Because his same bullshit would stay in place. And that's what's happened. Bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, night in, night out, day in, day out. A 3-2 loss tonight. When I made fun of our boy again, Anderson, for the second straight start, saying, damn, Anderson needs to step up now and stop a freaking losing streak. And he actually did in Toronto against a far superior offense than Seattle. Only allowed a run through 6. Nevin said, no, you can only pitch 5. And again, the bullpen only allowed 2 runs after that, or 1 run after. It's not the pitching's fault. How many times have we sat back and said it's the offense? There's been nights where the pitching's been bad. But if you were to tell me that Carlos Estevez before the start of the season would only have 1 blown save, and that blown save would come in August, I'd take that every step of the way. Listen, the pitching's going to have bad nights. It's happened in Texas. It's happened in Tampa. It's happened in Baltimore. It's happened in Atlanta. You just have bad nights pitching. As long as it's not a trend. You have Trent dumbass Rush saying, I wouldn't blame the Angels offense. They're the 6th ranked offense in the league. Based on fucking what? Yes, they can get men on base. But once they do, they fucking forget how to play baseball. You have 220 batting average with runners in scoring position. Is that 6th best in baseball? Again, we're getting hits unlike last year, but we don't know what to do when we get a guy on base. Or if we get a guy on base, look what happened tonight. Not Trent Rush. Drury hits a double that goes over the fence. This team is pathetic in so many ways, with a capital P. Because I saw what happened in San Diego last night. Shame on the fucking Padres. And fuck you, Joe Kelly. Fuck you. You're John Rocker 2.0. You fucking bitch. I wish and whether I'm buzzed or not sounding like this, fuck you, Joe Kelly. He throws up and in on Tatis, and say what you want about Tatis. Yeah, he's a PED steroid guy. Fine, fuck him too, right? He threw a pitch in on that dude's face, and he backed him off. Secondary pitch. There's a reason why I'm bringing up the Padres. Hold on with me. Fill me out on this one. If you didn't see it, watch it. Second pitch goes right after Tatis's head again. Knocks his ass to the ground. Tatis slaps his own helmet off his head. Pounds the ground. Where the fuck was his teammates running on the field and not beating Joe Kelly's ass? Nowhere. Hang with me on it. Almost done. Next pitch, because it's 2-2 now, Kelly throws a 100-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle and freezes Tatis. Okay, so he struck him out. You know what bitch Joe Kelly does? That fucking bitch, because he's a bitch, yells, fuck you, fuck this guy, And Tatis, guess what? Walks back to his dugout. Not one player on the rail. Not one player hopping over to beat Joe Kelly's ass. I'm telling you right now, I'm not even a Padres fan. Of course I'm not. But I wanted to morph myself over to that dugout in real time, jump that fence, and beat the shit out of Joe Kelly. That's fucking disrespectful. Why do I bring that up? Because yesterday or the day before, our own Erica Weston from Bally's Sports said, oh, the Angel players, several Angel players say they don't know where they'd be without Phil Nevin. Really? You don't know where you'd be without Phil Nevin? You know what? All you have to do, even if you don't judge him on his shitty-ass coaching and the rest of his shitty coaches that he has on his staff, and the fact that he does the dumbest shit every night, and every night, one time a night, you're scratching your head like, why the fuck did he do that? Why did he call that? Forget all that. Even forget the fact that he says he doesn't chase wins. If you want to know the legacy of Phil Philosophy Nevin, I'll give it to you in one example. And that is this. To go back to the Padres example. When the Angels faced these same fucking Mariners last year, and he told a pitcher to get retribution on Wanker Spanker, and he hit Wanker Spanker, and our set pitcher curled up in a ball in a fetal position and wouldn't fight Wanker Spanker. And number 6, yes, number 6 got his only hit as an Angel and took a punch at Wanker. And then even all that fighting that was supposedly going on, our fearless leader that we love so much, and if we weren't here because of him, he's gotten us to this 500 record. Oh, we praise Jeebus Phil Nevin. But all you had to realize is, guess what? How many motherfuckers on this squad stood up for him last year when Wanker Spanker was in his face? Again, I said it last fucking year, and I said it this year. If anyone, any motherfucker got in my coach's face, I'm throwing hands. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. I'm going to beat your fucking ass. That's my manager right there. That's not your manager. That's my manager. That's our guy. I don't care if I don't like him. If he's got my respect, bam, you get out of my fucking manager's face. But that's all I needed to see last year. If I'm Perry Manassian, or already calling him potassium, that's all I needed to see is when Wanker Spanker got in front of freaking Phil Nevin, not one player, not even number 6 at that point, got in front of Phil Nevin and Wanker Spanker to even separate them. No, Wanker Spanker was able to sit there for over a minute and disrespect our manager. Yes, our manager. Like him or hate him, he's our manager. Nobody stepped in front to protect or to honor Phil Nevin. That's bullshit. So even if Mike Trout's telling you in the offseason, no, we have to re-sign Phil Nevin. We love him. He's part of this team. No, he's not. If he was, you'd stick up for him. I have never seen that kind of disrespect until the Padre game the other night. When I saw that nobody came out for Tatis, if I'm the general manager of the Padres, break that fucking team up. I go to the owner and said, you know what? I made a mistake. We should have been sellers. I think this guy's got to go. This guy's got to go because obviously they don't love each other. Obviously, this team can give a fuck about each other. And if you got to fire the manager Melvin too, despite his track record, fuck him too. Start over. Because that Baltimore Orioles video got me thinking. We've now endured, because chalk it up. Honk your honk all you want. You have to really convince me, and I don't think you can. This team is not making the playoffs. My prediction, wrong. Not making the playoffs. I'm doubling down. This season's over. Does not start tonight. Didn't start last night. Didn't start the night before. It's over. Stick a fucking huge-ass trident fork that the Mariners have in us. We're done. They eliminated us again. They did it last year during the fight. They're doing it again this year. But when I watched that Orioles video, I could see myself after the 9 years of struggle and mediocre ball and this whole belief of we just need to fill in a hole or here or hole there to get the team back into the postseason. Yes, that'll do it. That'll get us winning again. No, it won't. It didn't do it then. It's not doing it now. The Angels should have blown this shit up in 2018. Imagine where this team would be. Think real quick. Could you put up with 4 losing seasons of 90 plus? With hindsight being what it is now, if someone told me in 2018, look, in 2023, you guys will be right where you want to be. And you'll be on the cusp or in the playoffs. But you got to endure 4 years of just really bad baseball. Sub 500 baseball. I'd say, okay, at this point, if I knew that the alternative was mediocre baseball, throw in name here, name there to plug this, plug that, and hopefully you get wins. No, I'm tired of that type of baseball. I'm tired of that type of coaching. Because unlike popular opinion from last night, you had a couple numbnuts saying, well, you know what? You got all this talent and they can't do shit. Well, that's not on the talent. It's on the fucking coaching. This staff should have never been here this year. Again, I've said it a billion times this year. For one of the most important seasons in Angels history, to keep Ohtani, you should have went with a Bochy-type manager. An experienced manager. Hell, even give it to Benji Gill. Benji Gill in one World Baseball Classic or in his time in Mexico has way better experience than philosophy. Straight up. I ain't even going to lie. Biased aside, Benji Gill looks legit. And he's got an actual resume of winning if you count Mexico baseball. They respect and love him down there. Phil Nevin could freaking break his ankle in front of someone. I doubt they help him up. They don't give a shit about him. It's just the only reason why some players pick up for him is because it's the stars. He lets them do whatever the fuck they want to. Rendon literally was cleared by the goddamn medical staff, and 3 weeks later, he's still calling the shots. Trout will say, hey, you know what? Or they tell Trout, hey, man, you got to go on a rehab assignment. No, fuck you. I'm Mike Trout. I'm coming back. I don't need to work out. I don't need extra at-bats. He lets guys do whatever the fuck they want to, dude. I'm crying for a disciplinarian for this team. We need someone to come in there and just rake these motherfuckers over the coals. And if those players don't fit your system, get them the fuck out of here. And if we got to start over and finish the season, 52 and 110, I don't care. Give me that first round pick every year. Let's turn this thing around. Look what Baltimore did. Again, watching that video, player development is everything. And I mean everything. Scouting and player development is everything. It's a reason why Disney sunk so much money into it, and it worked. We would have never gotten the Erstads, the Andersons, the Tim Salmons. None of those players would have been here. None of them. Frankie Rodriguez would never be on the freaking blip at all. That's what you need to do. And it's unfortunate we've gotten to this point. But then again, with Artie staying, I don't see it happening. Get ready for the same bullshit. It's night like this where I needed a drink, I drank, and reality is sunken in, bro. It is sunken in. And guess what? I'll be there Monday. Oh, yeah. Go Giants and Angels. Fuck. Let's get into the scoring tonight because that's what all you guys are here for. Kirby took the win 10-8. And again, the Mariners, thick of things, right in the wild card, where we should be. Angels, fading away. Tyler Anderson pitched good enough to win for the second straight time, gets the loss. And then some numbnuts gets the save. Box score looks like this. Renifo said 1 for 3. I got you. Ohtani, $600 million man, went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. That was great. Crone got a walk in the ninth inning. Other than that, he didn't do much of anything. Moustakas got a hit in the ninth inning. Other than that, he didn't do much of anything. Drury went 1 for 4. Other than the double that should have bounced off the fence, he didn't do much of anything either. Moniak had 1 hit. Renfroe had 1 hit, but no one's going to remember that 1 hit. They're just going to remember that strikeout in the ninth. Grichuk hit a home run. Who cares? And Wallach said, "Hey, I'm Mendoza, 200." You had 36,000 in attendance. Anderson, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. That's a good start. Soriano in innings pitched. He gave the go another run, and then Loop came in and went loopy. Got 2 strikeouts and a walk. Angels lose 3-2. Mariners 59-52. I really thought the Mariners would be 52-59. But no, the Angels are 500 again. 112 games in, and you still haven't figured anything out. How many times do we have to say, that's a reason for Nevin to get fired? That's a reason for Nevin to get fired. And we're still stuck with fucking Phil Nevin. He's going to ride this shit out no matter what. It's so embarrassing. And you watch, a good thing like Benji Gill will get passed off to some other team. You just watch. Let's go with the Stamos Award.
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look. Everywhere you look,
I love that award because Roger Lodge is in it. The Golden Stamos for the best player on the field is going to go to one sophomore slump until he played the Angels, Julio Rodriguez. He continues to get right. He raised his average 4 more points. He got 3 hits tonight, including 2 RBIs. He is your difference in the game. He is your player of the game. Now let's get into the nacho night.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
It's hard. I don't know who to pick as far as a player that's struggling. I want to pick Ohtani, but I'm not going to pick on him. He's basically the offense. Without him, this team is shit canned. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give a terrible at-bat to Hunter Renfroe. I'm going to give him the nachos. He fucking sucked in that last at-bat. He's sucked for quite some time. He's gotten a pass because other people will have like a freaking 4 strikeout night, 3 strikeout night. So fuck you, Hunter Renfroe. You get nacho night tonight. Let's get into some of these comments. Patrick says, unload Todd and give them a rant of all rants and then some. I tried, Patrick. It's just I want to yell so bad, but it's like, why at this point, dude? I've used up so much energy on this fucking team, and I wish I can get the airwaves for about maybe a minute to 5 minutes to just give a rant on AM 830 because those honks need to hear this shit. Boys, don't be too harsh tonight, Thomas Chin says. Season over, folks. Wore my Rams stuff today and possibly get a win. Didn't work. Horns up. Season ended with Shohei Ohtani cried. Also, what's good, Todd? That's some have you some Wheezy. That's Wheezy right there. Good, Todd. Let's get loaded. I am faded tonight. Bullshit. Butterfucked. Tim Anderson got his ass punked. Best punch I've seen since Odor. And I haven't even seen that one. I saw it in the chats. James was checking that out. He sent that to our Halos in the Infield chat. And I freaking forgot to take a look at that. So before I go to bed and when I get out of here, I will definitely check out Tim Anderson. Shout out to Jose Ramirez. Oh, he KO'd Tim Anderson tonight. Damn. Caesar says, I told you, Todd, we are going to get swept. Perry needs to pull this head out of his ass and fire someone. This is a joke. I agree. Patrick says, same. I'm talking shots of 46% spiced rum. I'm up to 4 shots right now, just drinking away my pain. Damn, Patrick, that sounds good, actually. Come on. Grillmaster says, what the fuck? We can't win. We really relied on Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe, a guy who hasn't hit with the bases loaded all fucking year long. He's fucking trash. DFA his ass. And Escobar. The thing with them, again, is they don't change their approach. You know, pitchers do. Angels don't. LA curse is real. Also, I went to Noble on Thursday and was happy. Yeah, he had a lot of drinks over there. R. Martinez says, let's see, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. I wish he was a hitter right now. Eric says, I think it's time to fire Nevin. At this point in the season, they desperately needed someone to push this team. I'd give Benji a shot. There's nothing else to lose at this point, and that's why I'm saying too. Nate Hustle says, bro, I'm sad to say they suck. People can blame Renfroe all they want, but what the hell did the rest of the team do in the first 8 2/3 besides swinging for the fences? Exactly. And I know I'm harsh on Renfroe tonight, but that bat was pathetic. But the rest of the team, yeah, you can easily say that they didn't do shit. My parents don't like when I complain about this team. Halo honks. Oh, man, you need to disown your parents. Just kidding. AC says balls, and Hunter Renfroe.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
Hunter Renfroe. Grillmaster says balls, and trash offense.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and
trash offense. Lifeless at the plate until the end doesn't work, Chris M says. Exactly. At this point, Roger Lott should just shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear you or like you, Roger. I agree. Dumbass media cheers this downfall. Sports News says, didn't know the Great Depression is back. Exactly. Didn't see this coming. They about to sweep us, LOL. Hashtag fire Nevin. Hashtag sell the Angels. Tim Anderson was more productive today than the offense. Robert says, need more discipline at the dish. Tired of seeing 2-0-3-0 counts and guys swinging at balls. Exactly. Jacob says, I do agree with whoever said fire Nevin now and let's give Benji the test run for the remainder of the season. What? Yeah, exactly, Eric and Jacob. What do you got to lose? You're not going anywhere. You're fucking 6 games out of the wild card. We talked about it. You're 5 and over. Forget it. And they're 6 now. Tony C says the Angels have no heart. Nevin needs to be fired like last year. We need Artie to just sell for once and lock up Ohtani. If they don't look up Ohtani, the Angels will fall to the wayside. Exactly. Love Ohtani, but what is he doing? Swinging 3-0 in the 9th inning, down 2 with no one on base. A walk is literally just as good as an 800-foot home run. Exactly. And to come on that point, how many times do we have the opportunity to get on base? But you could tell by their swings. I mean, we're not stupid, right? You've watched baseball. I've watched baseball for long enough to know when a guy's swinging for the fences. And there's no need for him to do it last night or tonight. Just work the fucking walk. Renfroe struck out all in fastballs that Munoz finally used to get the last out. That was the awful last at bat. Renchoka, Hayes says. Silent E says, I really wish that they did not have to rely on Renfroe in the 9th inning. That was a sloppy at bat and got the same pitch multiple times and did nothing. I really wanted him to prove me wrong. I knew he would choke, and that's the problem. Now the Angels don't accept real journalism. Yeah, them denying Blum is so soft. Starts at the top of soft management, soft players. Vicky says, you guys watch the Ramirez-Anderson fight? I haven't seen it, but I will check it out because you guys are pumping that. Problem is Ohtani is loyal to Nevin. If they fire Nevin, I guarantee Ohtani is leaving. He better not be back next year, and I mean Nevin, not Ohtani. Offense should be the best thing on this team. Exactly. How do you spell Nevin's first name? I think it is fuck, right? Fuck Nevin. The chair says Padres did come back tonight and beat LA. I wish Renfroe got DFA'd. Kelly is a thug. You don't want to answer a hard question about pitching. Yeah, you're a fucking useless ass organization. Shameful fucking turds. The hodgepodge team, Dan Rio says, I wanted Kelly at the deadline. The chair says, I didn't. I don't like that guy at all. Who knows? Ohtani supposedly loved Madden and Sosha too and said the same thing about Ohtani leaving because they left. Shohei doesn't hit when it matters. The team is done. Trotter here says, yeah, he does as a clown. All the Padres stars are soft. Laugh aloud, the Madres are pussies just like the team is. I agree. Tomorrow we face a rookie. You know what that means. Also, did Ramirez call Anderson Jackie? James says, remember, Todd, the players now have the mentality of let them play. Exactly. Leave it to the dumbass Angel luck for the Angels ball to bounce over the fence instead of bouncing against the wall, and a chance to tie it sounds about right. Nevin is sticking to his quote, we don't chase wins. Dude, I'm just done with baseball season. The whole Angel staff needs to get fired, period. I'm not saying this out of anger. I truly believe it's time for rebuild. I do too, Nate Hustle. I don't think Ohtani decides if he'd stay or go, depending on a manager. Mick says, okay, haha, Lakers fan. Jackie never knocked him out. James, pull up Shohei fixing his hair before striking out. Let's hit James. Let's hit Julio tomorrow out of frustration and say it was an accident. Jacob says, I can think of one player who would say, I don't know where I'd be without Nevin. Anyone care come to mind? Velasquez. That's who the guys would not be on the roster if it wasn't for dumbass Nevin. I agree too. Yeah, time to hit their Seattle God earhole him. One-handed Rendon had Nevin's back, and that was it. If you're going to throw at a player, throw it high. Wait, what are we talking about, Mick says. Also, to be honest, Nevin is a tough-ass old guy. He would probably fuck any player on our roster in a fist fight. I don't know, Jacob. Wanker Spanker was head-to-head with him, and he did nothing. I love beating batters for motivation. Reddit devotes or downvotes me to oblivion when saying that, and I get death threats. Stay off Reddit then. Season starts April 2024. I like that because that actually sounds like a real Angel fan.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts
April
tonight.
2024. I believe hitting a player if fine as long as it's not above the shoulder. Also, balls, and this team is full of pussies. I think that's true.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and balls and...
This team's full of pussies. I'd rather see pitchers striking out batters as a retaliation, but that's just me. Laugh out loud. Also, Jacob says, I'm with whoever said in the ear hole, J-Rod, fuck Seattle, fuck Scott Service. Balls, and incompetent coaching.
I was pretty cocky.
I want balls and
incompetent pitching. Also, send Renfro to the Cuban Baseball League. But Mickey says, I like Benji Gill too. He would swap roles for Nevin. Eric says, I love the passion, Todd. I just don't give a shit anymore this season. This team will give you a case of good old blue balls the way they tease the fan base every year. Exactly. And I can't deny that. That's a good take. Wayne says, at this time, you can say it's all over at this time. They are not hungry enough, seem to be a bunch of quitters. I agree, Wayne. I agree. Let's see. Grillmaster poured himself some vodka and soda. Jacob says, the thing about this rebuild is you can't do it from the scratch, but you still have the woman Trout. He is a cancer. His bad habits and shitty work ethic will rub off on the new guys. Munoz threw 33 pitches tonight. Watch him pitch tomorrow because real bullpen management. And he pitched 20 or so the night before that. Thurman says, I know the honkers honk, and I'm not hating, just throwing Gatorade on you guys and snap out of it. Reality, not you, Todd. You know, so here you go, honkers. Ohtani, regardless, is gone, so stop hoping. And I'm not going to argue that one. I'm just not going to argue that one because it is what it is, man. And I'm not looking forward to all that off-season talk. That's a lot of Stamos in the new video, haha. I have to put a lot of there. I was listening to the game tonight in Japanese stream. People are ripping Ohtani, and it's his fault the team lost today. I mean, yeah, he could have walked in the ninth, but it's not just him. It's not. Because, again, homeboy has 40 homers and 82 RBIs. He should have a lot more RBIs if he stays within himself and stops swinging for the fence all the time, and if guys would get on base and stay on base ahead of him. I would give the nachos to Phil Nevin tonight, Patrick says. Year after year, Todd gives us his energy, John says. I try. Artie Moreno curse lives on. Tim Anderson got dropped. Oh, man, I really can't wait to see that now. Thurman says, honk away, but stay away from Artie Sells. Watch, listen to the games. Get on the Halos in the Infield show, but show Artie you're not coming to the games all the time. Wake up. Charlie Brown honkers will suffer. Again, Thurman, whether they're going to the game because of Ohtani or not, I hope we see a difference in the stands next year if this team continues to suck. Because, again, you're right. You're absolutely right, Thurman. The only way to get to him is his pocket. Don't buy the food. Go to Noble L and park there instead of paying him $20. Or just don't go to the fucking game. Just don't go to the game. Don't buy a ticket. Go to 714 Tickets for other shit that you want to see. Balls, and season starts tomorrow.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and balls
We got
and
a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Also, school starts in a couple of days. I'm going to be undercover Marlins fan to avoid getting dumped on the toilet. Thurman says, there it is. Would be nice to see both local teams in the playoffs, but not the Angels' current state. Blow it all up and start selling Artie, but don't buy home tickets. Sorry, 714 Tickets. No, if you're going to buy tickets, buy them for other teams. Buy them for other sporting events. Buy movie tickets. Buy entertainment stuff. If you don't want to buy for Artie, don't buy for Artie. Fuck him. You help us either way by buying tickets in general. It doesn't have to be Angels. Channeling my inner Paula Cole when I say we're have all the contact hitters. Oh my God, James, you're fired. Paula Cole reference. Yowza. Oh my God, that was a stretch, but I like that. I like that a lot. But at first I was like, no, God! But of course, James is just rocking back in his chair right now and just being like,
wow, winning.
Let's see. What's a comeback? Thought it was this thing that Roger Lodge gets from Artie. Let's see. Also, balls, and swing at all the pitches all the time, Grillmaster says.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
swing at everything. And Trout to wake up on them or move on. Ohtani will not do what Trout did and stay. He wants to win, period. Angels will not be the team, and he is waiting around to find out. Wake up, honkers. And believe me, I was one of those guys, Thurman, that's not popular on this page because I'm under the impression since day one this season, even if the Angels were to make the playoffs, I've been quoted on these post games and on the podcast that we do that if a contract wasn't done with Shohei Ohtani before spring training, we were fucked. And I said we were fucked when Artie signed, but I said there was about a 30 to 40% chance of him staying if we tried to negotiate with him before spring training. The Angels refused to. The Angels did not want to. And then Ohtani did what every player does in a contract year. I'm focused on baseball. We had our chances to talk. We'll talk in the offseason. And you're shut down for the entire season. There is about maybe 5% of the baseball players that actually negotiate during the regular season because the team in general that still owns their rights gives them a sweet-ass deal to try to re-up them for a contract extension. It's rare. You maybe get one or two a season where you see a guy just get re-upped out of nowhere. But for the most part, all these players aren't stupid. They know they got the leverage in their hand. Ohtani's got the leverage. He's going to be the hot blonde, and everyone's going to want to court him and get in his pants financially. And that's what he wants. That's what his agent wants, and that's what he's going to get. Tobin says, I agree, Todd. This team drives me to drinking as well, but like my son said, whether we win or lose, get the W as fans by getting to listen to your post-game show. Oh, I appreciate that, Tobin. Damn, that makes me feel so good. Thank you so much. Tell your son he's the best. You guys have been giving me some great compliments lately, and I really appreciate that one, Tobin. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Because on nights like this, when it feels hopeless, and to be honest, when you're tipsy and you come in here and you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? What did this team do for me tonight? Nothing. That comment right there makes it all freaking worth it. And I appreciate everyone that's been nice. You know, we've had Dodger fans come on here. We've had Tiger fans, Pirate fans, Mariner fans, Marlin fans. A lot of people have just stumbled on this show, and I really appreciate everyone, even if they only stop by for one show. And they're like, hey, man, it's a pretty good show or whatever like this. I try. You know, this is all off the cusp. It's all freaking raw, like just emotion. Because it was funny because I had someone criticize me one time before just saying, man, you're too negative or you're too up and down. It's like, well, I'm not talking about the series that was 3 games ago or when this team was winning. You can go back and on the lives and see how pumped up and honkish I kind of was. You guys were probably like, man, you're borderline honkish when you're talking about the playoffs being so close. And there's a lot of jibs and jabs that way because it's an emotional night. When you do a post game, it's a nightly thing. So whatever happens that night, we're either dejected by that grand slam the other night or we're thrilled by the home run in the 10th inning by Renfroe in Toronto. It's just an ebb and flow. It jumps up and down based on the night. So some nights we're like super pumped and we're feeling Halo honkish, but we're trying to keep it tempered down because we don't go full on honkish here. We get happy, but we can't go honkish. And then we don't want to go too far down the toilet and pissed off and mad and angry. So we got to keep it real too. And I think that's what, I try to keep the best balance I possibly can. So I appreciate that. I really do, Toby. Grillmaster says balls, and fuck it, go deep mentally.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
fuck it, swing for the fences. Christopher says, I hate this team so much. Every morning I wake up feeling dead inside. I feel you, man. We're the ones that have to make those memes or the freaking Stamos awards and the nacho nights and post those. And you think for 1 minute I want to post the freaking nacho night as an Angel player, but it's been recent. And what, you don't think I want to post an Angel player as the freaking Stamos winner and all that stuff? It's just it's terrible. I didn't get to see the game tonight. What are your thoughts on tonight, Todd? It's another Angels loss, and the Mariners, your Mariners, Eric, are surging. A team, again, that I talked about last night where we wrote off. We never thought that they were going to jump back into playoff contention. And all of a sudden, they've risen up there, and we're back in 4th place, a place we didn't think we were going to be. Angels don't have any leadership in the locker room. Boy, that's amen to that. I'm let's see, I'm low self. Or I don't see what right there. Jim said. Also, Mark Gubasaw, you know what cheers me up? A brownie, 2 tacos with Snoop Dogg's Munchie Meal and a Jack in the Box. I can't wait for him to be in the booth with us. Don't you think so, Wayne? As it's not playing. See? Even this thing's striking out. Thanks, Renfroe, soundboard. It literally paused on me. I set you up, soundboard. The fuck, man? It literally paused on me. Hold on a minute. Now I've got to read that over. That is a major botch. That's terrible. All right, here we go. Let's do that again. 2 tacos and a Munchie Meal. I wish Snoop Dogg was in the dugout. Literally, bro. It's time to just put the television on mute. Balls, and Bally's waiting for a home run every 5 seconds. Yeah, that's Patrick O'Neill's go-to.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
home runs every 5 seconds. Patrick says, I'm 7 shots in, 46% spice rum. Kirkland. Boy, Kirkland, it's so funny. It's so funny. Kirkland is, to some people, a cheap brand of rum. I think it's pretty damn good. I think it's really damn good. I like what Costco provides. Oh, here we go. So James sent the video. Let's see if I can get it here to play. He's squaring up with Ramirez from the shit fucks. And if you guys aren't, actually, it's just a steal. It's not the video. It's not playing for whatever reason. I'll have to watch it afterwards. But it's the Ohio shit fucks. I think the way you spell Nevin is actually fired. The season starts tonight, honkers. That's what Jim wants to remind us.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Hell yeah. Benjamin says, Artie doing is selling the team BS before the season, screwed the season from the jump. If he doesn't do that to Perry, fires Nevin for the offseason and hires a coach that we prefer. And that did mess up everything. The long and winding road being an Angels fan. Todd, my friend in Pennsylvania, wants to buy tickets to the Pirates game. Will 714 tickets work? Yes, it will, Dan. It works any stadium. It works over and over. So if he wants to buy all 3 games, he can buy all 3 games with that 10% discount. Thank you, Todd. Get him the pocketbook. Thurman says another loss tomorrow, and Nevin needs to go. I've been wanting to get him to get fired for. I've been wanting to get fired for years. Haha, just kidding. James says. And Nate Diaz lost. Fuck. Skid Mark says. Also, we need Benji Gill now. What is Perry's number? I wish we can call him and talk to Moreno as well. Pull his head out of his ass. What is going on with the hitting coach Planter? What do you mean Thames? Go Halos. If the Angels do not make Ohtani an offer, what do you think the amount will be? It's going to be $530 to $600 million right there. Demetrio says, so excited for the post Ohtani Trout era. It's basically what I'm waiting for. It could be right around the corner. Marty says, tonight the Titanic is officially at the bottom of the ocean. I think we're getting hit by the smokestacks right now. You know when they were in the water and everyone was like bailing out and the smokestacks were breaking off the ship? I think that's what's hitting us. You are truly a leader, Todd. No, you guys are. I appreciate you guys so much, Eric, and everyone else on here. The Ohtani contract is going to be a terrible in 5 years because I don't anticipate him either, AC, pitching for 10 years. I just don't see that. Also hit the thumbs up, everyone. It helps the channel. It does. So the likes are there. I always forget to mention it. Jacob mentioned it last night. I appreciate that. You could do that right now. That helps with the algorithms, with the views and the likes, actually. I can't read the Ohtani at all. This is his very first free agency. He is not a typical professional athlete. His priority is different from other players. It's true. It could be one of those things where he literally freaking just, he surprises us. But I would have to lean towards the other way at this point because if it's Angels' luck,
John Stamos choked on me.
and then we're in trouble. Let's see. Balls, and waiting for the last minute to do something.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
Waiting till the last minute. Brad as a beast says, drinking bleach tonight. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Been a fan for so long. I'm so used to this shit. It definitely sucks ass. Feels like we are done. It does feel like we're done. Grillmaster says, we are now 18-26 without Neto playing. That makes sense. And I think Squid's record would be even worse. Let's see. Also, Q Bally's Gritchy Homer. The true honkers need to do this. Be rebellious for a bit each year. This Groundhog Day will continue. Okay, Gatorade Throne. Got friends who are honkers, and I'd like for them more to go to more than one game. But why? And here's the thing, too. I think if say, for instance, we had a big enough rally, I'd say do it different because he's always getting the gate. You know, Oakland did a reverse freaking selling the team where they all attended. You had 27,000. That kind of helped the bottom line for the Oakland Athletics. I think to get it back at Artie, don't fucking show up for a game. Get a rally to where we're all in the frickin' parking lot. We don't even go in the stadium. Don't buy tickets. Just get the parking, if anything, or not even get the parking. Let's go celebrate at Noble. Get a few thousand fans over there. Don't freaking go to the goddamn game and watch. You know, the TVs are going to have to freaking pan around the stadium on a home run or a foul ball, and to see nothing but empty seats would send a message. I'm telling you. I remember one of the 14-game losing streaks last season. I went on your live on the Instagram back when it was working and changed how I see the team not being a Halo honk. Thanks for you, Todd. I appreciate that, Sports News. Already cut off your soundboard. He did. Bro, no playoffs. I'm sorry. It's over, Sapphire. It's over. Tommy Chin says, hey, Todd, out of curiosity, have you ever cried for a game, maybe a game you played or you watched, Angels 2002 win? Real quick, Tommy Chin, good and bad memories with that. 2002, I did cry and hug my dad. I cried at the Skaggs no-hitter we were at because, you know, seeing those jerseys get laid down on the mound was just unbelievable. Those 2 times, and also in 95, I didn't even cry when my baseball career ended. You know, when I couldn't play minor league baseball because I went and got my baby mama pregnant and I had to come back and get a real job and become a man earlier than I expected. And I gave up on my true dream to play Major League Baseball. I didn't even cry then. I felt like shit. I was depressed a little bit, but I was more pumped up to be a father. I didn't even freaking bat an eye, really. I mean, I continued to play semi-pro. I continued to play travel ball when I could as my daughter got older, and I would play maybe on the weekends. But I gave it all up. But I would have to throw in the 95 season when I was 15 years old and we lost to these Mariners. I didn't cry initially. I took the day off to watch the playoff game because all you guys remember, it was like a mid-afternoon morning game. And I remember just watching the game in our apartment because we lived in an apartment at the time, and just seeing how dejected my dad was, remembering how he was when I was 6, when I first saw my dad cry and be upset. And he wasn't even crying either. He was just like, he never blew off my mom. I love my mom, and she passed away and everything. But when we lost that game and watching that season and going to those games that year, and it was so rough because I thought we would actually get into the postseason. And my mom was like, usually she would punk him a little bit. She never went to a baseball game. I always wanted to get her to a baseball game, never would go. She'd be like, the time that he would take me to somewhere on Broadway, I'll go to an Angel game. My dad never did that, unfortunately. So she never came to a game. And she would always punk him when the Angels would lose. But that day she saw him dejected and she saw that he just wanted to go for a walk. She just gave him a hug and he walked out the front door. And I almost lost it right there, but I was thinking, man, and I kind of did the same thing. My dad went one way down the block, I went the other. And we just took a walk and we came back at different times, but that was I just went. I remember I went to my old high school and just kicked it on the baseball field, and I teared up a bit. But those were the only 3 times in my life: 95, 2002, and Skaggs. Those are the only 3 times I legit cried for this baseball team. Balls, and Patrick O'Neill. Oh God, he's so terrible.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and
Patrick O'Neill. Let's see. Are you talking about the Kirkland signature brand? Well, the ones that make alcohol. I mean, Kirkland does a lot of good stuff for Costco. Eric says, I was at a minor league baseball game tonight, but I was keeping an eye on the game, and the 9th inning was nuts. It was. Brad SB says, the Angels make smoke too much of my stash. Also, it's a signature product. Kirkland is. Fight video right there. Zip it. This also Thurman says, I go to Walmart too, but I'm not going to invest heavily in it. It's sorry honkers, but you're living at the Walmart. Don't worry, the blue is Target. There you go. Let's see. Also, DFA Escobar, call up Channel, whatever his name is. He'll be there. Trust me, he'll be here sooner than later. Looks like I'm drinking the night away, Alex said, and he was there very early since he works at the game. Narian says, Angels fans, do you want Ohtani next year? Narian, tell me which team you root for first of all, because I think every team in the league would want him. We want him bad. It's going to change the dynamic of this team if we lose him. It's just tough, man. It really is tough. DFA Renefo, call up Channel. Also, I don't think anyone thinks he'd be a two-way player for 10 years. If anyone thinks that they're delusional, it's possible that he could do 3 or 5 years more, which I agree. FAU's coach said he could play third base in the corner outfields. He could. Also, Thurman says, out of the Gatorade, so keep up the great word, Todd. Wake your honkers up, Todd. Yes, $25 park. Meet up and do a live read with Dom and make it a party. I will give it a month before they shut you down. Exactly. Well, we're gonna probably be doing some more lives here coming up here soon, so look forward to that. I just want to see if this team gets back to the basics. What could happen after they are 215 and 900 with a 238 batting average with runners in scoring position. Thanks again, Renfro. All coaches need to go. Please change something. And still, Silent E, the Halo honks will come out there and say it's all about the pitching. The pitching's the problem. Come on, Todd. You know there's no crying in baseball. Yeah, I know. But sometime this team, it gets me. And, yeah.
Are you crying?
No.
That's me.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, there is. Grillmaster says, I also cried at the Skaggs no-hitter watching it on TV that Friday night. Happy tears when we won. Sad tears we lost a good player. Exactly. Honks are morons and tools. I agree with the other comment. Well, I was a Halo honk before I ran into your channel on Instagram. I appreciate you freeing me from honkism. Appreciate that, Brad is a beast. Hey, kid, lay off the high ones. All of us, Renfro. Yeah, that's true right there, dude. Laying off the high ones is one thing we can't do. I mean, look, Ohtani did that one the other night. I got to find that one right now because that's one I really don't play much. I should play a lot more, but I really don't. Oh, there it is.
Hey, Kit! Lay off of those high ones.
I like the high one.
Mule!
Nag. Dan says 1995 didn't cry. I was pissed. Agrees Skaggs was emotional for sure. Grillmaster fires off with, well, emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Just looking forward to the culture reset after this era, and I hope Gil and Erstad are a part of that change. I hope so too, Dimitro, but if it makes sense, Artie won't do it. Eric says, glad you decided to man up and be a father instead of chasing your dream, Todd. Big time respect, man. Well, I appreciate that, Eric. That was tough, man, but looking back at it, raising 2 daughters and everything, it was worth it. And I had to get a real job, and I was lucky enough that my baby mama decided to let me play even on the weekends or when the kids got a little older, because that first year I stopped playing everything. I was a guy who I played baseball, and practiced twice a week, played on the weekends or whenever the games were scheduled. I played basketball 3 times a week. I played football when it was in season. I stopped playing hockey after 18 because I fractured my ankle, so I'm still can't ice skate. I tried to go ice skating with Steve Lease, just ice skating, and my ankle wobbles too much and it's uncomfortable, and I feel like it's going to snap again, so I don't do it. But playing basketball and football and baseball, if I were to do that today, I'm fine. I don't worry about it. I'm on my feet for my job, but some reason in hockey I can't do it no more. But yeah, I was an all-around athlete. I loved baseball with a passion. My dad started throwing the ball with me when I was 2, and I never stopped. I still can throw the ball pretty far, and I can hit the ball pretty far. I miss it, and you never know what could have been. But life throws you that curveball, or you swing away, like Bally's would tell you. And it is what it is, man. But I appreciate that, Eric. Also, 2002, I cried after Skaggs. I cried to work with those assholes at the Huntington Beach USPS and had no empathy. Worst job ever. Balls, and Tatum O'Neal's brother.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
Tatum O'Neal's brother. Also, SRC says, what direction does this team go if Shohei leaves? Complete rebuild or same shit as before we had him? SRC, same shit. If we lose Ohtani, they'll take about a quarter of that money and invest it into free agents and to plug holes. That's it. That's all they'll do. And we still won't have an ace. Demetrio says, I cried in my car after we lost to Boston in 08 playoffs when JD Drew hit that late home run. I was angry crying. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Those were dramatic losses. Farty won't go into a full rebuild, that's for sure. Rebuilds are banned from here. Absolutely. I'll show and bring my 2002 World Series hat and bring Reggie Jackson's 500th home run ticket. Yeah, it's been that long. Damn. Balls, and ass Phil Nevin.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
ass Phil Nevin. The culture is actually damn good, Artie, being Bruce Allen, formerly of the Commies. The culture is pretty good. I'm also a reformed honk. This channel makes watching this team fun, win or lose. I'm really happy I found this channel, and I wish I had earlier. Thank you for the fan content. Glad to not be a honk. I appreciate that too, Silent E. And I really do. I'm hoping that this thing can spread even more. Really, I do. I'm hoping that we can see more what is it? More realistic Angel fans. There's just too many honks out there. I feel we're making a dent, but slowly. Skating is not ice time for Todd. Looks like no ice baby for him. Oh, geez. Brad B says they need to send you a 10-day contract, Todd. I would like just a 1-day contract so I could retire an Angel. Never knew you played hockey, Todd. I also played hockey very seriously from 5 to 19. Okay, Jacob. Respect right there. I played hockey. I got into it late, actually, because I was a pipsqueak until my sophomore year. I was only 5'3". And then I grew a foot over summer after getting my ass kicked, when you can go to a teacher back in 95 and tell them, hey, this guy's been bullying me. And they'll just be like, well, man up, throw a fist, or don't get suspended. Do it after school. Stick up for yourself. Nowadays, it's like, go to therapy, take a pill. We're going to arrest that kid. He's scum. Wish I had that back then. I got my ass kicked through junior high to my sophomore year. And then magically, when I joined the football team and baseball team as a freshman, that very summer, the next summer, going into sophomore year, I had tremendous back pain, and I still have stretch marks on my back. I grew a foot, like literally 12 inches. I went from 5'3" to 6'3" in one summer. So when we were doing 2-a-days, I was growing. Out of my clothes, out of my jersey, out of my cleats. I went from a shoe size of 10 to 14. So yeah, I grew up real fast, and once I started putting on muscle, I have a story about beating a bully's ass, and I'm so proud of that. I fucked that guy up and got suspended for it, and I loved every second of it. Let's see. Also, let's see. Every time I hear the Calling All Angels song at the stadium and you hear all the division titles we had won in the past, it's depressing. It is truly depressing that we don't have that stuff in the 2010s, 2020s. All Farty will do is bring in washed up big names and bring the crowd and give us hopes and plenty of bobbleheads. Don't forget about that. Groundhog Day for you. Let's see, Roger Lodge at the end of the year will say on the sign-off episode, will say some shit like, let's be thankful that Shohei Ohtani was on this team. We were lucky to have Shohei. See you in Tempe. Exactly. Eric says, Todd, sorry, Todd, I didn't think I farted so loud. Jeez. AC says, Angels should have went into a rebuild same time as the Ducks did. Well, even a year or two before that, and they'd be fine right now. Make some mini tacos to go along with a vodka soda. Todd's mitts were definitely bricks. Let's see, Todd with a massive growth sprout. Wow. Sign big free agents are fine, but they need a strong scouting team. They do, Mick. Todd, you are big and strong. You definitely can tangle with them. Yeah, I did, dude. I swear. I was a pansy through junior high. And all it took was that year and then realizing I was taller than some of these fuckers that were punking me. And, man, it was over. And nobody fucked with me the rest of my high school collegiate time. Glad you got to smash that bully, brother. Thank you, Marty. Caesar says, another happy moment for me, Todd, was Guerrero's grand slam against the Sox. Oh, I forgot about that. That is a good memory, Caesar. That grand slam came out of nowhere. That knocked them out. I mean, it was great. Jameson says, what's the team's future after this season? I'm genuinely scared as a diehard fan. It's scary at times. Well, Jameson Bruce, I'll tell you this. I don't even know. Because it all depends on where Shohei signs. And again, I said it last night. I'll say it tonight. The longer that goes, the more this team is fucked. Because other teams will realize the Angels aren't going to sign Shohei, but the Angels will still have that pipe dream. They'll be hanging on to Shohei before they make any moves. And what's going to happen is free agents are going to get plucked here and plucked there, and then what? We're going to be left with not much. Also, Richard says, my God, Todd turned into the Hulk back in the day. Let's see, what bobbleheads do we make of Shohei is gone? All Mike Trout or Andrew Velasquez? Probably all Mike Trout. Preach on, Todd. Nathan says, I'm going to be real here. Is not a playoff team, and I know we were buyers, but wasn't enough. Angels won't make the playoffs until probably 2025. We'll see, Nathan, because it all depends on who they field after this. We're definitely not doing it this year. Honks leaving the stadium are happy that the loss because they got to see home runs. Exactly. Brad is a beast. Always a good night when San Diego beats the Blue Man Group. I hate the Dodgers so much. SRC says, time to retire the rally monkey. Nothing worse than sitting there shocked to go ahead slam during the half inning, knowing the season is over while honks are bouncing around to the rally monkey song. Yeah, that song needs to stop. That song needs to stop. It really does. It's over. It is over, and it's been over. Don't see Sandy in our future, Alex says. I don't see him either. Volmo Gates says, thoughts in the M's. And I said this earlier, Volmo, if you're still there, the Mariners are turning into a team we thought they were. This was a team that in the preseason predictions I picked to finish second or third, depending on what the Angels did. I was honking my honk. I was thinking the Angels are going to win, be right behind Houston. And I thought that Seattle would finish just below us, or they might finish ahead of us because they're that good coming off of last year. And for the most part, I was wrong all season. All season long, Seattle just floated around, hung in there, lost some games. They were pretty much forgettable. Everyone in this division was thinking, God damn, Texas is in first place. Who would have called that? Houston is battling with them. Who would have called that? And then you're like, oh, that's the Angels. They're underperforming. Whoop-de-woo. What was more surprising is how bad Oakland is. Oakland is just terrible. I think we talked about Oakland more than Seattle. Then lo and behold, right before or right after the All-Star break, Seattle starts to make some moves. Not trading, but just winning games. Starting to play a little bit better. They DFA guys. They sell guys at the deadline, and everyone's thinking their chips are all in. We did the trade deadline special, and we were just laughing. We were like, ha, 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 Mariners suck. They're throwing in the towel. And I was the only one on the panel saying, man, it's weird that they're just dealing guys and not trying to recoup when they're basically in the same position as the Angels. And then the Angels are like, wait a minute, we're buyers, let's start losing. And then the Mariners are like, we're sellers, let's start winning. So conventional wisdom went way out the window, and the Mariners manned up while the Angels sat back and got punked like I did when I was a kid in junior high. And that's where we're at right now. And if the Mariners make it into the playoffs, would not shock me one bit. At this point, they're finding themselves at the right time, as you would want to as a team. It's nice and all to win 110 games during the season, but how many times have we seen a team like that win the World Series outside of Houston and a couple other teams in the past? Usually it's wild cards who win or teams in sucky divisions that just happen to find their stride in August and September. I wish the Angels would have done that. I could have dealt with all the losing, and then for the Angels just to flip a script and say, hey, let's man up and let's start playing. Let's start winning. But they can't do that. And you know what? Hats off to the Mariners. Hats off to the Mariners for doing what they're doing. I hate to say it because they're a rival, but fuck, I can't lie to you and say that I don't respect them for winning after all this shit. I'm serious. Let's see. Also, Kirby and Gilbert is where Sandy and Detmer should be. Goodbye, Shohei, and goodbye, Giant Pac-Man running around the field and Japanese companies leaving, including cheap cologne. Don't forget about the cat food. Don't forget about Eva Air. All that's gone. Can Jabba the Hutt, I mean Lizzo, be a good coach? Yeah, because definitely everyone could be fat as fuck on that team if that's the case. The only way the Angels will make the playoffs in a year is that they fire the staffs next year and someone in the damn dugout that is on the hitting side that's needed to do it since day one. Comparable people is what you're asking for, and I don't think that we're comparable of hiring those people. We need to start protesting in front of the stadium. Why does Nevin have that stupid look in the dugout? I want Kingfish as our new hitting coach and Gooby as our pitching coach, Tony C. says. And I'll tell you this right now, they don't want to hear your voices or my voice. That's the same reason why Bally's does their pre- and post games from the field. They can't do it from under the hats because too many people were freaking trolling them. Hey, but the honks are saying if the ball didn't jump the fence, we could have won. They don't realize the offense couldn't give a crap for most of the game. It's usually not our year. Remember when Houston was a shit team and they actually believed in their farm system, built their team up? Farty doesn't learn. SRC says Japanese companies are setting up in L.A. Let's hope that the Angels can grow a foot overnight, just like you, Todd. R. Martinez says. Eric Ward says no better feeling than kicking a bully's ass. That's for damn sure. Let's see. Shohei eating a Whopper to cure his sadness. Cue the Whopper sound.
Whopper, 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 Junior, double, triple, Whopper.
As an M's fan and podcaster, Jarek Kalenic breaking his foot changed this team. And that's weird, Volmo. For a while, Kalenic, I can't even say his name, but I call him Celtic. That guy was doing really good for you in the start of the season. Then he fell off. So if that's what motivated you and getting rid of Wanker and Wong and all those other guys, then, man, like I said, hats off, dude. I didn't know you were a podcaster, Volmo. You got to let me know your podcaster put on here. Let's see. Also, killing it. Everybody, see, this is one thing, Volmo. If you come in here every now and then, Dan Rios likes to, former English teacher, he likes to try to teach me how to say certain names. I can't say the guy from Houston. I call him Farmer, and he tries to spell it out for me to try to say it. And I'm like, you know what? I said F you to my English teachers in school. I'm not going to listen to you guys now. No disrespect. But I'm stuck in my ways, damn it. I'm stubborn. Todd grew a foot in a year, and the Angels need to grow some balls and get some wins. Getting rid of Colton Wong, the white move. Stupid, but that one actually fits, Grill Master. So I'll give you good for you.
Oh, good for you.
AC says balls of Mariners doing their dumbass dance. By the way, Volmo, that dance does suck.
Tonight,
It's time for you to check out what I want. I want
balls and
And a dumbass dance. You know what? Like, I just wish the Angels would throw at them when they do that. But, of course, we can't defend anything, let alone the field. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% a bad coach. Nevin doing a Lizzo impersonation. The fireworks are pretty good tonight, R. Martinez says. Also, SRCs would suck if Shohei Ohtani joined the Dodgers and the Astros. I agree. Jameson Bruce says, in the MLB, let's see, MLB tanking and around 3 to 4 years of being really bad. Astros did it a while back, and now the Orioles. Problem with the Angels during the 9-year stretch is consistently hovering around 500 because that's all they do. They freaking just try to plug holes. Nevin needs to get his head out of his ass. He will never, with Trout back next year, because obviously Nathan says Trout votes for him like he usually does. Phantom US says, bro, what the fuck am I hearing? You're hearing a lot of shit, dude. And I have a soundboard, and if you're not used to it, well. Sad part is that this was a 4-game series break prior to taking on the Giants. Both Texas and teams Tampa or played Tampa and the Reds, Robert says. So it was our chance to catch up. We didn't do shit. And we have the Texas two-step coming up too. Thurman says cat food and all is much easier to access in downtown LA. And if you don't think Ohtani's agent hasn't heard from the companies, then you're delirious. Big picture honkers. LA Blue makes sense. Stop preaching. Volmo says, I used to be a huge Red Sox fan. Met Mookie in Seattle at a restaurant the morning before a game. I was pissed with the dance. They stole it from the 16 Red Sox. Wow, I didn't know that. But it is one of those things where it's, man, it makes you want to beat them more, though. That's the thing. I think that's why it works for them, because no one wants to see them dance on their freaking infield or even their freaking mound. Angels are cursed because we claim we're the LA Angels, and that is probably right. AC, actually, I love the dance, but that is right, Todd. You always give everybody the truth. Thank you so much. Good night, Todd. Good night, Thurman. Speaking of bullies, Tim Anderson, the bully, got knocked the fuck out. I'm going to check that as soon as we get off of here. Stop scoreboard watching if we're not winning. It doesn't fucking matter. Honk, honk. Exactly. Would you rather see Ohtani with the Dodgers or Yankees? Yankees at this point. SRC says the same thing. Still doing the Reds and Tampa Bay games. Didn't get a duffel bag yesterday. They ran out quick. And that's the sad thing, Skidmark. They should literally be able to facilitate everybody. But again, that is our cheap-ass Artie Moreno. Sorry, Todd, talking to your honkers. Don't jump bunny. No, I'm good, man. See, also love Trout, but what is it? His not really good no more. I don't care that people say they need more young mooses and Nettles on this team, guys who want to win now and are the best pitcher, and have a good night, Nathan. Yeah, I'm about ready to bounce right here too, guys and gals. The Dodger players, I don't like their fans and media. I agree right there. I love the Trident, though. Love Samurai hat you guys have as well. Yeah, that one's pretty cool, Volmo. I like those two. Is it Toronto's got the jacket, but who was a team that we played before? Or it's Boston. Did you see their little stupid thing? They have those blow up little weights that they just jiggle in the freaking dugout. That is terrible. I really liked when they used to push the guy in the what is it called? The grocery cart. I thought that was really original. Some teams have some good ones, some teams don't. So there you go. The teams I'd least like Shohei on is Astros, Dodgers, Rangers, Yankees, Mariners. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see him in the division. If he went to the Yankees, you only see him twice a year. Sure as hell don't want to see him in the Dodgers. That's for damn sure. Also, anything I can DM you on, I would love to chat maybe about the series recap. Well, yeah, we'll check it out. Vomo, hit me up on ToddFox Heaty or Halos in the Infield on Instagram right there. You can or just email us at Halos in the Infield podcast because we do our own podcast as well. If you want to do that too, hit me up there and we could talk, dude, for sure. Why can't you say Farmer or Jaime? I can't say it. I'm sorry. So there you go. You guys, MLB made Boston stop, claimed it was too dangerous. That is so stupid. Oh, boy, the MLB says, let the kids play, but when they play, don't you play. Does anyone give a shit what Trout does anymore when it's the last time he's done anything to help the team win? He's past his prime and can't stay healthy. And it's a shame, but it's true, Eric. I can't freaking – because look at him this year, man. When we needed him the most, he disappeared. Good night, Todd. And, hey, remember the season starts again tomorrow. Oh, it starts tomorrow.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
I wouldn't mind SRC, him on the Pirates or the Reds. Someone in the National League, unnamed, not named the Dodgers, I could deal with that. I could even deal with the Padres, but not the Dodgers. All right, everybody, I'm going to bounce. No phone calls tonight. I'm just not feeling it. Everyone have a good night. Again, Volmo, hit me up, man. We could talk. We do podcasts all the time, so there you go. Let's see. Let's send it off with yeah, it's okay, man, Julio. It's okay. That guy's getting his swing back. Let's send it off with some Savage Garden. Well, here we go. Let's sing it if you know it. We'll go on this. As soon as the stupid advertisement goes, and we'll play some Savage Garden. Here we go.
I will be strong, I will be faithful, 'cause I'm counting on a new beginning, a reason for living, a deeper meaning, yeah. And I wanna stand with you on a mountain.
This is our depressing song.
I wanna bathe with you in the sea.
For how long?
And I wanna lay like this forever.
Until when?
Until the sky falls down on me.
Good night, everybody. The ship is sinking.